All right, folks, back to work we go tonight. Boy, that was a pretty fun trading day, wasn't it? Kept buying those dips pretty much the entire day today. We had back-to-back retest trades this afternoon. Boy, lots of folks making money with us right now in the SOT trade room. Hope you guys made a bunch of cash as well. Now, we have a very important video tonight because we have 4 ranges. I know things are choppy, 4 ranges on the tick charts right now. And once you see how we string together these 4 ranges, I think you'll see the game plan for tomorrow is pretty straightforward. So very excited for tonight's video. It'll be a masterclass on range rotations, breakout pullbacks. We're going to cover the entire roadmap as always to make some money on Thursday morning. So charts are ready. Charts are pretty good right now. Charts are ready. Enough of the intro. As always, thanks for tuning in and sticking around tonight. Let's dive in and make some more cash on Thursday morning. S&P SPY ready to go tonight. Nasdaq triple Qs are always ready. I have 3 clues telling me where I think the money is made tomorrow. The first 2 clues are right here on the hourly time frame. First clue is overall direction. I know we saw that strong move down this afternoon, but I wouldn't call this a reversal yet. We're still pretty bullish overall on the S&P SPY, bullish overall Nasdaq triple Qs. That is our directional filter off the higher time frame. The second clue, though, is also relatively important. That was a relatively strong move going lower, even though once you see the tick charts tonight, you'll see there wasn't a straight line down, but that was a strong move going lower. And we always know, whenever we're a bullish market with a strong pullback, we know the odds are somewhat good right now. The sellers will try to retest that low before we get that next leg going higher. So bullish overall, strong pullback, that momentum going lower will want to retest that low before we get that next run going higher. So on the S&P, we do want to keep an eye on 93 quarters and of course the 804 and 3/4. Those are 2 big clues here on the hourly. We know we're bullish and we are keeping our eyes open for a retest, but that might not be very easy. You'll see why I say that in a moment. Now, before we talk about tick charts here and talk entries, let's cover the schedule for tomorrow. There's 3 things on my mind for tomorrow. Now, I don't usually care too much about the jobless claims report, but from what I'm seeing on AI right now, apparently we will be getting that jobless claims report tomorrow at 8:30 Eastern time. And since we haven't seen any news in weeks now because of the government shutdown, that jobless claims might have a little bit more of a punch to it than it normally does. It's a pre-market trade, so we'll see what happens tomorrow morning. Really though, my main focus tomorrow, 2 things. We will keep watching the news feeds closely for headlines regarding the US and China trade talks. We know AI feels a bit like a bubble right now, so we're watching for headlines of all the big tech companies, OpenAI, NVIDIA, etc. So watching headlines tomorrow. And then don't forget tomorrow night too, we have that big Intel earnings report on Thursday night after the close. It does seem like, though, the way price is behaving right now, it does seem like everyone's waiting to see what that CPI report will come out on Friday. So we'll see what jobless claims says tomorrow. And again, if you're trading tomorrow for noon, be careful into the close tomorrow because Intel reports after the close tomorrow. Let's get back to our charts, though. That's some things in my mind tomorrow for the news headlines. Again, we covered 2 big clues here on the hourly charts, but timing entries. Remember, entry timing is so much easier on tick charts. All the time frames, by the way, upper left-hand corner, that is a 7,000 tick chart. And that moving average, my friends, do not overcomplicate this. It is the 21 EMA. It's the only tool we need to find consistent, repeatable profits. There are, I said earlier, there are 4 ranges. I know 4 ranges on these charts. Let's break them down one by one. That range right there, what do ranges do? They love to rotate, right? They like to rotate with symmetry. The amount below the range, the amount above the range. That really tells me kind of where this market's trying to go here in the medium term for tomorrow. But look what's up there though. Second range is that range we spent pretty much the first 2.5 days in this week here. What do range breakouts do? They love to break out pullbacks. So that area up there, very significant area of resistance. Those are 2 out of 4 ranges. So we know as we go higher, we know where the market wants to go. We definitely know that breakout pullback zone will probably put up a fight up there. So be aware of that. The third range right now is this range right there. That is a little tiny range, and we know when ranges break out, they love to breakout pullback. Love how that range breakout pullback zone lines up right around that channel. Love that area on that chart. And the final range, the most important range, by the way, is always the most recent, right? Recency is very important, this range. Now, what does that range want to do? It wants to rotate, right? It wants to rotate down, and it wants to slingshot going higher like that. We know also, right? Ranges, they like to break out pullback. We're bullish overall on the hourly time frame. Okay, so 4 ranges. Let's put this all together. Now, in a moment, I'm going to talk about going higher here because we may keep on grinding higher to complete that pendulum swing overnight. This will be a very important lesson later on in tonight's video. So unless you hate making money, make sure you watch all the way to the end of this video because that really sets up for a couple of easy winning trades here as we go higher. One of my favorite trades, though, for tomorrow will definitely be a pullback off the top of that range, off the bottom of that channel. We call that first test is the best test off that channel. Now, you know me, right? I'm not going to pick a bottom on this. We're not blindly buying down here. What I would love to do, though, is see a nice strong shot lower, kind of trap in some of these bears, get some rookie bears to think we're going lower and bear trap them. Let those bears try once. Let them try twice. Remember, it's always important we see higher highs on this, right? Like lower, right over here. Go lower, bears once, bears twice, 2 tries, higher high, and trap those bears in. Now, if I can get a bear trap on this is what we love ranges in our trade room because now where's the market trying to go? It wants to rotate the amount below, the amount above. We already know where it wants to go in the big picture now. Now we have targets overhead now, and now we look for what I call an add-on trade. Separation off that moving average, higher high in price, and want to get in right below that low. So one of my favorite trades here for tomorrow, the stronger the better, really. I would hope it gets a nice strong shot lower, make it feel very bearish, all those rookies out there, trap them in, 2-try bear trap, add to that winner, and get that rotation. Now, I should also mention too, that 93.25 level, I mean, I would not complain at all if we saw a really strong run down. And of course, I would love a bear trap down there. I would love that bears once, bears twice, and squeeze those stops back up, get some separation off of that moving average, right? I mean, that would be a dream scenario for tomorrow, right? Take out that low we mentioned earlier on the hourly time frame, trap those bears in like we saw this afternoon, and then add to our winner going higher. Now, one thing I do want to remind you, oftentimes we don't get that bear trap down there. A lot of times in our trade room, it'll make a strong run lower and just rip and run back higher here. These can be a bit tricky on the emotions. I'm going to cover that in 2 seconds. Before we do that though, let's slow down for a second because if you're watching for the first time right now, this might be way over your head, a brand new strategy. I know most folks watching, you guys know these patterns. You're making money with these already. I get so many great emails and comments on this YouTube channel. But if you're tuning in for the first time right now, I teach all these entry setups in my free trading course. In fact, I have a ton of trade examples all about these same entry patterns. I cover in so much more detail. Guys, the markets are way too good right now not to be making profits. So what I'll do is I'll put a link up top there for you. Hit that link that popped up there. Take that free trading course because the strategy you learn in that short video course will teach you a simple trick we use in our members trade room that literally tells us exactly where to find the winning trades each day. More importantly though, let's face it, we make our money by timing good entries. So I want to teach you my 4 favorite entry setups, like traps, add-ons. It's all covered in more detail in that free video class. So guys, if you're still missing the best entries, if you've lost your confidence in your current strategy, what are you waiting for right now? Hit that link that popped up there. You're gonna love that free trading course. Everyone loves all the trade examples I share on the website in that free video series. Best part is it's completely free for you. Be aware too, guys, I'm gonna put all the important links you need down below tonight's video. I'll put the free class links down there. Start first there. Most folks start making money all on their own, all with that free video course. So start there first. And don't forget too, we trade this stuff together every morning, 8 o'clock Eastern time. That's the place to be in the SOT trade room. I'll put trade room links below tonight's video. And if you're on Twitter or X, as they call it these days, I post a ton of charts and videos and mindset stuff on the X platform in between these YouTube videos. Give me a follow on my handles down there. Again, all the links you need to learn more, hopefully earn a lot more, are below tonight's video down in the description. Okay, now you know where to go in case you're tuning in here for the first time, because I do look at things a bit differently here on this YouTube channel. Where we leave off, okay, I mentioned earlier how I would love that run going lower. Oh, and don't forget, I will talk about this thing going higher here in just 2 moments. Don't go clicking off me here just yet here. Now, remember, we oftentimes get a really strong shot lower, and we don't get these beautiful bear traps like we saw repeatedly this morning in the morning trade room. Instead, it just boing and whoop and runs right back up again. If it V bottoms off the low, remember, the most important thing is to be patient for the new hidden channel. Like I'm doing right here, right? As it pops and begins to grind like this, I find that channel, I mark that low, I'm gonna buy that first test off of that low. So if we get some overnight that rips lower and just boing and bounces back up again, keep your eyes open for that new channel. And I'm telling you right now, the worst thing you want to do when it bounces up like that is go chasing after it. Because what happens on these V bottoms is these are sellers getting squeezed. That's all that's happening, right? It's V bottoming because there's so many buyers down here and the bears are getting squeezed out of their positions. Eventually, buyers are going to want to re-enter the market and they want to buy low. The way that works is mark that trend line, find that channel, always look left, find some prior swings. And like I teach in the free video course, I can look for bear traps off the low of that channel. The most important thing is get below that prior swing. It can be a technical bear trap. It can be a 2-try bear trap. All the same entry patterns I teach in that free video course. I can't cover all the entry tactics here on these YouTube videos, but I go into a lot more deeper dive into those in that free video class. Again, below the link in the description of this video. So be aware of that V bottom play. Very common. Didn't see today, but possibly tomorrow here if we get that strong run going lower here. Also too, like we saw today, I mentioned today, we saw back-to-back retest trades. Don't forget, oftentimes, especially with that low still wanting to retest right now, we oftentimes will see a strong run down. It'll pop up, retest that low, and we get a retest trade. Retest trades are by far my favorite trade in our trade room because as we saw this afternoon, they repeatedly retest, trap them in, and bounce back up. So remember, if we get that run going lower, we get that bears once, bears twice, like I teach in the video course, I always go for a 1-to-1 first target, get rid of that risk. Let's stop up to point of entry. But oftentimes, though, it doesn't go ripping for us. It doesn't keep going for us, right? Oftentimes, it'll hold the underbelly of a range and make one more leg going lower. Now remember, this will feel like a reversal, but again, we're not a bear market. We're a bull market right now on the hourly time frame. So once they retest that low, and what happens is all the sellers who sell that breakout pullback, right? All the sellers who sell up here, where's their profit targets? Their profit targets are back at that low, right? So sellers up here become buyers down there. We're overall bullish on the hourly time frame. Is that a good place to start selling? Of course not. It's the worst place to start selling. You want to sell right now? Sell high, right? Don't sell low. I know it sounds so easy, right? But we all know that in the heat of the moment, it's almost as if our fingers can't resist the sell button, right? So rookies haven't learned to be disciplined like that. It's very easy, at least I think it's pretty easy, to catch those rookies on the wrong side of that market. Bears once, bears twice. Again, the key is that higher high, right? The higher high. Trap those bears in, use those stops as it retests. Again, we call these retest trades in our trade room. Lots of folks loving those today in the SOT trade room. And remember, if it begins to separate off that moving average, take half your profit targets off, right? Take half your target off on the initial move and add that right back on as the retest. And if we're in that range in this case, right now we know the amount below, the amount above, that is where the market now is trying to go. So be aware of those variations of those bear traps going lower. Now, how do we trade this if we run higher? That's a very important question because again, that range right there, it's going to want to rotate going higher. And we know that there probably will be quite a bit of fight, quite a bit of resistance up there around that breakout pullback zone. Let's talk about that strategy now over on the Nasdaq. Now, of course, on the NQ, just the S&P here, we can easily two clues here right now. One, we're definitely very bullish overall. I would not call this a bear market. How would you know? How would you know when we call this a bear market? Well, first of all, we have to continue that move going lower. And really, even in that situation, it's one big trading range. We know that ranges love to rotate. So it's going to be very difficult to find a place to sell until we get up around that breakout pullback zone, right? That's the only place right now it really makes sense to be a seller because right now we're bullish. It is a very strong move down, and we know sellers are going to try to retest that low. But once you see those four ranges, you can see it might not be that easy unless we get some headline, right? Unless we get some news headline that I simply don't know about at this point here, the evening before. So two big clues. We're bullish overall, strong move down. Let's see if they can retest that low. It's probably a 30% chance right now, but again, that may change here once we get some more information here overnight. Now, I want to talk about tick charts and cover this thing going higher here. Before we talk Nasdaq though, I want to share something with you guys I've been working on the entire year this year. We all know AI is the technology of the future. And I recently built an AI tool that gives me an advantage over every other trader on the planet. I use this AI tool in my trading, in my personal life, for my workouts each day, and I'm completely addicted to it. It's amazing. So if you're like me, looking for ways to leverage AI to make more money in your trading each day, I'll drop a link down below, or just scan that QR code that popped up here on your screen with your iPhone and try my new AI productivity tool I call VoiceTap. I'm going to warn you though, once you start using VoiceTap, once you use that AI tool I just built, you're going to never stop wanting using it. It is very addictive. So again, use that link below in the description of the YouTube video or scan that QR code for a free download on the Apple App Store and let me know what you think. Now, let's dive in and talk about the Nasdaq. Over the tick charts right now. Tick charts again, you'll notice a 4,000 tick chart here on the NQ. Nasdaq is not as much volume as the S&P does. There's four ranges right here on this tick chart right now. One range is this range right there, right? That range is trying to rotate. Look where that puts us. It puts us right at the underbelly of that trading range between the first couple days here in. That range right there, it wants to break out pullback. Keep your eyes on that area. And we'll talk about some shorts off that area as we go higher here. And of course, then I have this range right there, right? That range wants to break out and pull back. This range right here is the most recent range. Recent range, always the most important range. This range wants to rotate with symmetry, right? Like all ranges do, they love to rotate. So what I want to think about right now is a couple different trades I'm watching for here tomorrow. As we go higher, the most aggressive trade I'm looking for tomorrow is going to be what I call a technical bear trap in my free video class. First things first, separation off the moving average. We need separation to make this trade worthwhile. Higher high in price, I'm getting in right below that low. This is a relatively aggressive trade, so make sure we get separation, higher high, and for me personally, this will be a half size position going higher here. Now, we know that anytime we see a range breakout, we know the breakout leg can be a measured leg. That will give us an idea, combined with the breakout pullback zone, of where to take profit on that base of that range breakout going higher. So we run up, we get our, again, the most aggressive entry, separation trade going higher. We cash that paycheck at the pendulum swing at the breakout pullback zone. Now, this will feel very bullish up here, but we know we're probably going to get some pretty significant resistance. How could I sell up there? It has to be a crown reversal pattern. Crown reversal patterns are nothing more than technical bull traps. Watch closely. It's buyers trying once, lower low, buyers trying twice. I talked about last night why we have to sell above a prior high. We must short these things above prior highs. And whenever I'm going against a trend, it's always a half size or a quarter size or a third size. It's not a full size position when I'm going against a trend. So we go higher here. My initial bear trap entry, my crown reversal pattern up into key areas of resistance. And then what do you think comes next? A breakout pullback off of this trading range. Remember, we're a bullish market overall, right? So I can get that short off the high. I know exactly now where that price wants to go. Now remember, we're not going to blindly buy down here. This might keep on rolling lower, right? Remember that big low we mentioned earlier on the hourly time frame. But most of the time though, we'll pull back to that range. We'll see bears try once, bears try twice. Again, always a higher high on it. I look for that bear trap, that two try bear trap, and look for that add-on going back higher. The add-on on this, just make sure the add-on trade gets you in before we get too close to retesting that high. That's a secret. That's the sequence I'm watching for here tomorrow. An aggressive separation, technical bear trap like I teach in the free video series. The crown reversal pattern, the two try bear trap, a breakout pullback basically, and an add-on trade as we go higher. We might get all four of these. We might get only two of them, but these are the four entries I'm watching for as we go higher here. Now, we may not get that scenario. We may run up here and we may keep grinding, going higher. Now, one thing you want to remember is grinding markets are very tough to stop, okay? So if it slowly grinds going higher, I'm not going to try to pick a top on this, all right? Ideally, what you want you want a strong pop-up. That way, the moving averages, right? All the moving averages, we can use those as almost like a magnet, right? Like a reversion of the mean strategy, right? Okay, so what I don't want though is if this thing starts grinding, going higher, right? What I mean by that is it'll slowly grind up that moving average. Those are not as easy to short, all right? So tomorrow morning, get with us in our trade room and I'll walk you through what that looks like. It's tough to teach the whole thing here on these videos. Now, because grinding markets are strong markets like this, we can get more aggressive, draw a trend line off the highs, bring that trend line down around that low, and ideally, we'll combine these ranges for a breakout pullback along with getting below one of these swings. Ideally, get below that swing, get those bears trapped in, bears once, twice. A lot of examples of this trade, by the way, in that free video class I mentioned earlier. And from there, we're adding to our winners from there. Higher high in price, separation, and from there. So one variation of this, and again, unless you're within the trade room, be aware of that. If it grinds slowly, I'm no longer trying to pick that top because they're very difficult to pick the top when it slowly grinds against you. Bear trap, add on. The goal would be here, get underneath a prior swing on these pop and grind channels. I would love to use that range for a breakout pullback. And there's not many guarantees in trading, but that trade right there, it's almost a guaranteed winner in my experience. Love those pop and grind channels. Remember, grinding markets are very difficult to stop. And then one last thing here. We may pop up and go into another range up there. We've seen a lot of ranges over the past couple of days, haven't we, right? So be aware, at any point we see a new range, that new range acts as a magnet. The previous range, that's why I love ranges, the previous range is going to want to break out pullback. Now, you know this already, right? You know how this works, right? It wants to rotate off the low of that range, right, and complete that pendulum swing. So once we see a new range tomorrow, then all we do is we wait for a breakout. Ideally, the breakout will go down to some key level of support below. Right? I always want to apply this, combine this with some support level below that trading range. And again, it may keep on going, right? I don't have a crystal ball. It may seem like that sometimes, but I don't have a crystal ball on this. All I know is this is not where you want to sell, right? You do not want to sell right there because that range above you is going to want to rotate going higher. So a horrible spot to be a seller, great spot to be a bear trapper. 2 tries for the bears, squeeze those stops, add to that winner, right, as always, and leave that runner. If there's one scenario you must leave a runner for, it's always a range rotation, because once you learn how ranges work, and you'll learn this in more detail in the trade room each morning and, of course, our free video classes. But once you learn how ranges work, you will love them just as much as we do in our trade room, guys. That's our game plan for tomorrow. Now, speaking of tomorrow, the place to be is in our trade room, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Guys, I'll put all the important links you need to learn the roadmap down below tonight's video. Start first on that free video course. You're going to love all those trade examples. Then come join me in the trade room and we'll do it together. In the meantime, guys, hope you learned a bunch tonight. Hope you earn a bunch tomorrow with this information. Be well out there. Be nice to each other, will ya? And you better be here next time. Adios, amigos. Bye for now.